So I just want to say thank you for all the people attending, and thanks to the governor and to the others who you see up here who made this bill possible. I started working on it in the summer because there was a group of legislators from across the country that were having concerns about, with the new BOEM decision about leasing out the outer continental shelf outside of our 3 mile. What were we going to do, and how could we organize that and have conversations with legislators from Maine to Florida, though Florida didn't have to be a part of it because they already have an exemption, but from Maine to Georgia, and then over on the West Coast, California, Washington, and Oregon. And so we had conversations, and then they came up with some really great ideas with respect to how to have an influence on whether or not there would be any drilling off the coast. So as you saw the bill come up, we were able to pass a bill in both the House and the Senate with pretty overwhelming response, because Oregonians love their beaches, they love their ocean, and they don't want it spoiled. And having, as I have said to people, having the new Carissa Beach and be torn apart on our coast, and the little bit of bunker fuel that was in that one and what it did to our community was unacceptable. And so the risk that was involved if we didn't do something was really important. And as we had our moratorium coming to an end, it just seemed like the perfect thing to do, and I am appreciative that I had an opportunity to be a part of that. Thanks.
And thank you, Senator Roeblen. You know, it's a privilege to see this piece of legislation move through this building in the bicameral, bipartisan manner that it did, that really solidifies that all Oregonians are not only protective of our oceans and our beaches and our coastal communities, but also the fishing industries that support them. And so I thank the governor for her leadership, as well as Senator Roeblen and the rest of the Coastal Caucus for theirs, as well as the members of the building for moving this forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Governor Kate Brown. Thank you, Senator Roeblen. Thank you, Representative Brock Smith. Yay. I know there's some floor dynamics happening, so not everybody could be here today, but I just want to also say thank you to all the members of the Coastal Caucus for their hard work. Senator Johnson, I think, is stuck on the floor. Representative Gomberg, Representative Mitchell. What? Oh, great. Oh, well, no. I'm just reading. Yeah. I got a list. Okay, I've got a list. Okay.
But thanks for singling me out that way.
Yes. Yeah. Representative McEwen, the Surfrider Foundation. Yay. The Oregon League of Conservation Voters. Yay. And of course, the Nature Conservancy. And I'll also just say a welcome to all the students here from the bus project. It is, as you know, spring break, but they decided to take a vacation from their vacation and join us at the Capitol today. So could all the bus project people, kids, raise your hand? Yay! Oregon is such a very, very special place because of our majestic natural beauty. And when people come to Oregon, they want to put down roots to build their families and their lives. And we value our environment. And even though the Oregon coast runs along the western edge of the state, the coast and our coastal communities are truly central to Oregonians' identity. And we are surrounded by incredible natural beauty, but we're also infused with something more, and that is a progressive spirit and a commitment to democracy so profound that we have come to lead the nation in its practice. From the nation's first bottle bill, yay, to ensuring coastal access, yay, to preserving our farm and forest land through Oregon's land use planning system, we have literally shown the rest of the country how it ought to be done. And I think with the help of many of you in this room, we will continue to make progress this legislative session by tackling global climate change. Yeah. I have learned through my multiple decades in public service that change takes time, and it is often done incrementally. I am very, very grateful for the work that my predecessors did to lay an incredibly strong foundation in this great state of Oregon. Just over a year ago, in a move that undermined decades of bipartisan coastal protection, the Trump administration announced a proposal to open up 90% of U.S. waters to oil and gas drilling. Yes, it would have opened our shores, our wildlife, our communities, and our economy to the threat of devastation from an oil spill. It turns literally their backs on our commitment to reducing our dependence on fossil fuels. But this bill that I'm going to be signing here in just a minute, Senate Bill 256, is the product of Oregonian voices speaking loudly for Oregonian values. It's about more than protecting 363 miles of irreplaceable natural ecosystems. It's about more than ensuring our iconic salmon have safe passage to ensure their survival. It's about more than protecting the livelihood of our fishers or our small business owners. It's about states like Oregon taking a leadership role in preventing the erosion of core laws that protect our environment. And we made it happen. We made it happen the Oregon way by working together across the aisle and around the state. We have a lot more work to do this session to make sure that Oregon's lands and waters remain safe from the chaos at the federal level, and that we continue to drive, without fossil fuels, of course, our own environmental future. So I look forward to your partnership on that work. And in the meantime, I am very, very thrilled to be signing Senate Bill 256 into law. All right. Yes. Yay. Take a couple quick questions.
Governor, speaking of chaos at the federal level, there have been a variety of things going on, including a new assault on Obamacare, which you've spoken about before. Could you talk about your feelings toward that, and also some of the environmental things that are going on?
Well, I'll certainly talk about Oregonians' feelings and Oregonian values. With the passage of Ballot Measure 101, ensuring funding for the Oregon Health Plan, Oregonians made it clear, whether they live in Curry County or Hood River County or Deschutes County or Multnomah County, that they support making sure that everyone has access to health care. So I appreciate the bipartisan work that has happened in the building so far to continue funding for the Oregon Health Plan, and we will fight back against these reckless and irresponsible attempts to repeal the Affordable Care Act. In terms of environmental protection, we're absolutely committed to moving forward on legislation this session that will tackle global climate change and that will continue to enshrine federal protections like the Clean Water Act into Oregon state law. Any other questions?
Just a quick follow-up question on House Bill 2020. Have you had a chance to be briefed on the proposed amendment, major changes, and are there things you would like to see in that bill still, or how do you feel about the way the bill is being proposed by the committee chairs?
Certainly have had an opportunity to review the amendments. I appreciate the work that the committee chairs are doing. I think my priorities are that we continue to tackle global climate change, that we do so in a way that ensures Oregon's economy continues to thrive, and that we don't exacerbate already existing economic disparities in our underserved communities, our rural communities, our communities of color, and our low-income communities. So let's sign a bill.
I see a lot of students here.
Yes.
What is your position on the bill that would allow 16-year-olds?
I thought you might ask that. So we still got some bus projects folks here. My focus this session is, of course, on getting the paid postage legislation through. But I am excited to see the work that these young people are doing. And I think it's a great opportunity to have a conversation in this state because I don't get to sign the bill. It will go directly to the voters. And I think it makes sense to have 16-year-olds vote in this state. So I look forward to that conversation in the building, and hopefully we get to have that conversation with Oregonians across the state.
So you support the measure?
Yes? Is that okay, Bus Project? All right, as we have way varied from the subject at hand, Senate Bill 256. You laugh, but you might want one of these pens one day. All right, let's continue to preserve Oregon's coastal communities.